Yesterday we learned the chapter microprogram control, right? In that we learn about the uh, block diagram of control organization of microprogram control, right? Then what is control memory, then what is control data register, what is control address register, right? What is sequencer. Then we learn the concept of address sequencing. Right? With this diagram, there are four parts of performing the address sequencing, right? But one with the use of incrementer, one with the use of subroutine. Then if you use the branch logic, then perform like this, right? And then the mapping logic, right? Then we learn the micro instruction code format, right? Micro instruction code uh, has a total 20 bits, right? Then first three bits, three partition are out for the micro operations field, right? F1, F2, and F3. Each has three bits. So total is we have total 20. Each micro operation has different 7 operations. So we have total 21 different micro operations, right? Then CD is for conditions for branching, right? BR is for branch field and AD is for address field, right? Then we see the tables for symbols and binary code for micro instructions field F1, F2, and F3, right? And code for CD and BR field of your micro instructions, right? So next is microprogram sequencer for control memory, right? So I already made that PPT for microprogram sequencer for control memory, but somehow I forgot to save that PPT, or I don't know what happened, right? So that we will learn in next lecture, right? Because I don't know શું થયું છે, right? પણ મારી જે slide છે, that diagram of microprogram sequencer, it lost somewhere, right? So we will learn that diagram, only one diagram remaining from this chapter, that is microprogram sequencer for control memory, that we will learn in next lecture, right? So today we'll start with the new chapter and very important chapter, right? That is chapter number 6 from your syllabus, pipeline and vector processing, right? Pipeline and vector processing, and chapter number 9 from your book, right? Chapter number 6 from your syllabus and chapter number 9 from your book, that is pipeline and vector processing, right? So let us start with that chapter. The remaining one topic from the chapter microprogram control, that we will learn in next lecture. Okay, so let's start with the uh, new chapter, that is pipeline and vector processing, right? So in this chapter, first let us understood the one basic concept before we understood the what is pipelining and what is vector processing, right? So before understood the pipelining concept, right, first understood the one classification that divides your computer into four major groups, right? That classification is known as Klein's taxonomy, right? So Klein taxonomy or Klein's classification divides your computer into four major groups, right? That four major group is SIST, that is single instruction stream and single data stream, right? So instruction is single, instruction stream is single, and data stream is also single, right? So that is SIST, right? Now next is instruction stream is single but data stream are multiple, so that is single instruction stream, multiple data stream, right? Next is next is multiple instruction stream, right? And single data stream. So that is MIST, right? And last one is MIMD, that is multiple instruction stream and multiple data stream, right? So this is known as Flyn's taxonomy to divide our computer into into four major groups, right? So let's see one by one these groups in detail, right? First is single instruction stream, single data stream. So that is SIST. So SIST represents the organization of a single computer containing a control unit, a processor unit, and a memory unit. Right? One single computer contains control unit, processor unit, and memory unit. બધું સામાં છે એક single computer માં છે. Right? So this type of computer is known as SIST computer. Right? So SIST represents the organization of single computer containing a control unit, processor unit, and memory unit. Right? And instructions in SIST are executed sequentially, and the system may or may not have internal parallel processing capabilities. Right? Parallel processing we will see in detail in later on PPTs. Right? Just now you just remember that single instructions are not instructions are executed sequentially, right? And there are no internal parallel processing capabilities are available. So we cannot process multiple processing or we cannot process multiple process at a one time with the use of SIST because all the instructions are executed sequentially, one by one. Next, right now, okay. Next is single instructions and multiple data, right? So SIMD represents an organization that includes many processing units under the supervision of a common control unit, right? SIST માં શું હતું એક સિંગલ કમ્પ્યુટર હતું એ સિંગલ કમ્પ્યુટરમાં જ કંટ્રોલ યુનિટ પણ હતું પ્રોસેસર યુનિટ પણ હતું અને મેમરી યુનિટ પણ હતું રાઈટ SIMD માં શું છે SIMD એક એવું ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન છે જેમાં there are many processing unit under the supervision of one common control unit. Right? Now, all the processors receive the same instructions because there is only one single instruction stream, right? So all the processor receives the same instruction from the control unit but operate on different items of data, right? એટલે દરેક જેટલા પણ તમારા પ્રોસેસર છે, right? There are many processors in SIMD, right? But supervise કોણ કરશે? One common control unit, right? So all that processor receives the same instructions because single instructions is there only, right? So all the processor receives the same instructions from the control unit only, right? But operate on different items of data because we have multiple data streams available in SIMD. Getting? So this is SIMD, right? And the shared memory unit must contain multiple modules so that it can communicate with all the processor simultaneously, right? Next is MIST, so that is multiple instructions but single data, right? So multiple instructions are there, right? But that instructions use the one common data. So that is MIST, right? Now MIST structure is only of theoretical interest, right? Because there is no practical system has been constructed using this organization, right? Because currently, right, અત્યાર સુધી there is no computer at present that can be classified as MIST, right? This is just a Flyn's there is one scientist who introduced this classification. He all introduced this four types of classification, right? But practically, he introduced theoretically, right? But practically, there is no computer present that can be classified as multiple instruction stream and single data stream, right? So MIST structure is only for the theoretical interest, since no practical system has been constructed using this organization, right? So next is MIMD, that is multiple instruction streams and multiple data streams. So MIMD organization refers to a computer system capable of processing several programs at the same time, right? And most multiprocessor and multi-computer systems can be classified in this category, right? So જેટલા પણ currently available multiprocessor multi-computer systems છે, that all are under which classification? MIMD, multiple instruction, multiple data streams, right? And this Flynn's classification depends on the distinctions between the performance of the control unit and the data processing unit, right? And it emphasizes the behavior characteristic of the computer system rather than its operational and structure interconnections, right? So this is about the Flynn's taxonomy. This question will ask in 3 or 4 marks, right? Explain Flynn's taxonomy or Flynn's classification in detail. So you have to explain this 4 classification in detail. That is SIST, SIMD, MIST, and MIMD. Right? This will be asked in either 3 marks or either 4 marks. Okay. Now next is parallel processing. Right? So before understanding what is pipeline and what is vector processing, right? Let's understand one term, parallel processing, right? So parallel processing is a term used to denote a large class of techniques that are used to provide simultaneous data processing tasks for the purpose of increasing the computational speed of a computer system, right? Instead of processing each instruction sequentially, right? Suppose there are lots of instructions which we want to process, right? So if we process that lots of multiple instructions simultaneously in conventional computers, right? It takes lots of time, right? It takes lots of data processing speed or lots of computational speed, right? So whenever it reduces the computational speed and it use lots of time to process that data, right? So to reduce that processing time, right, and to increase the computational speed, right, we use the parallel processing system, right? Because parallel processing system is able to perform concurrent data processing to achieve faster execution time, right? So multiple જ્યારે instructions જ્યારે process કરવાની હોય, right? Whenever we want to perform or large class of techniques or large class of instructions, right? At that time use the parallel processing to achieve faster execution time, right? For let us consider one example, right? So while an instruction is being executed in arithmetic and logical unit, right, the next instructions can be read from the memory, right? Now the system may have 2 or more ALUs and be able to execute only 2 or more instructions at the same time, right? Because normally in any system contains maximum 2 or 3 ALUs, right? So at a one time that system only execute 2 or 3 instructions in that ALU. Right? Now this and the system may have 2 or more processor operating concurrently. Right? So in that case, right, we use the parallel processing to speed up the computer processing capability and increase the throughput. Right? So the purpose of parallel processing is to speed up the computer processing capability and increase its throughput. Right? Now what is throughput? Throughput is a amount of processing that can be accomplished during a given interval of time. Throughput means output, right? The processing, the amount of processing that can be accomplished. The processing જે તમારું complete થાય છે during the given interval time, so that is known as throughput. Right? And the amount of hardware increases with the parallel processing. Right? And the cost of the system also increase, right? But the technological development have reduced the hardware cost, right? So no need to worry about the hardware cost because તમને એવું લાગે કે મારે પેરેલલ પ્રોસેસિંગ કરવું છે સો મારે હાર્ડવેર થોડું એ શું કહેવાય એ એની સાઇઝ છે અને હાર્ડવેર પાર્ટ છે મારે ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરવા પડશે સો એનાથી મારી કોસ્ટ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થશે સિસ્ટમ, રાઈટ? સો નો નીડ ટુ વરી અબાઉટ ધી cost of the parallel processing system because technological developments already reduce the hardware cost, right? Where we use the parallel processing. So indirectly parallel processing techniques are economically feasible, right? So this is about the parallel processing, right? Parallel processing એટલે શું? There are multiple functional units, right? Suppose there is one processor register available in your memory, in your hardware, right? So memory માંથી એ જે process તમારે suppose you want to perform some operations, right? So memory માંથી processor માં data જશે, right? So at a one time suppose your multiple functional units are in working condition, right? Suppose adder, subtractor unit or integer multiply unit or logic unit or shift unit or incrementer or floating point multiplier, floating point divider, right? So એ બધાને parallelly connect, એ બધું parallelly connect થશે with your processor, right? And processor perform the parallel processing and gives you better throughput, right? So this is about parallel processing, right? So next topic is pipelining, right? So all of you understood what is parallel processing and Planck's classification for any computer, right? So shall I move to next topic, that is pipelining?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next topic is pipelining, right? Now what is pipelining? Pipelining is a technique of decomposing a sequential process into sub-operations, with each sub-process being executed in a special dedicated segment that operates concurrently with all other segments, right? So pipeline શું છે? Pipeline તમે એવી રીતે વિઝ્યુલાઇઝ કરી શકો કે pipeline is a collection of processing segment through which binary information flows, right? And each segment performs partial processing dictated by the way the task is partitioned, right? And the result obtained from the computation in each segment is transferred to the next segment of the pipeline, right? તમે એવું કન્સિડર કરો કે કોઈ મોટી ફેક્ટરી છે, right? એમાં લાસ્ટ માનો કે તમે એવું કન્સિડર કરો કે કોઈ ફેક્ટરી છે જે બલ્બ બનાવે છે, right? હવે ટ્યુબલાઇટ્સ ઓર બલ્બ્સ, right? તો એક આખી એક સિસ્ટમ બલ્બ છે એ એક જ જગ્યાએ તો એનું બધા પાર્ટ એક જ જગ્યાએ તો નહીં બને, રાઈટ? તો ફેક્ટરીમાં કેવી રીતે કર્યું હશે કે એ જે બી બલ્બ બનાવવાની જે પ્રોસેસ છે, રાઈટ, એ પ્રોસેસને એ લોકોએ ડીકમ્પોઝ કરી દીધી છે ઇન નંબર ઓફ સબ ઓપરેશન્સ, રાઈટ. એ સબ ઓપરેશન બધા પોતપોતાની પ્લેસ પર એક્ઝિક્યુટ થશે, રાઈટ. એ દરેક જે સબ ઓપરેશન્સ છે એ બધા સબ ઓપરેશન્સને એક એક શું કહેવાય ડેડિકેટેડ સેગમેન્ટ હશે, રાઈટ. એ સેગમેન્ટમાં એ જે પ્રોસેસ છે એક્ઝિક્યુટ થશે, રાઈટ. અને સપોઝ ફર્સ્ટ માનો કે એનું જે ટ્યુબલાઇટ છે તો પહેલા એની અંદરનું નાના નાના જે બધા પાર્ટ્સ છે એ બધા અલગ અલગ સેગમેન્ટમાં રેડી થશે, રાઈટ. પછી એ બધા વન બાય વન નેક્સ્ટ સેગમેન્ટને પાસ થશે, પછી નેક્સ્ટ સેગમેન્ટમાં બધા અસેમ્બલ થશે, પછી એના પછીના સેગમેન્ટને પાસ થશે, ત્યાં એની ઉપરનું જે પેલું ટ્યુબલાઇટનું જે ઉપરનું બોડી હોય એને અટેચ થશે, રાઈટ. સો વન બાય વન સેગમેન્ટને એ પાસ થતું જશે. તો આ જે પ્રોસેસ છે એને આપણે શું કહીશું? પાઇપલાઇન, રાઈટ. ખબર પડી પાઇપલાઇન શું છે? સો પાઇપલાઇન ઇઝ અ ટેકનિક of decomposing a sequential process, right, one by one the sequential process થાય છે, right, એને આપણે sub operation માં divide કરશું, with each sub process being executed in a special dedicated segment that operates concurrently with all other segments, right. Now the name pipeline implies a flow of information analog it to the industrial assembly line. જે મેં તમને એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યું તે બરાબર, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ અસેમ્બલી લાઈનનું જે મેં તમને એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યું ત્યાંથી આ વર્ડ લીધો છે પાઇપલાઇન, રાઈટ. So it is a characteristic of pipeline that several computations can be in progress in distinct segments at the same time. The overlapping of computation is made possible by associating a register with each segment in the pipeline, and the register provides the isolation between each segment so that each can operate on distinct data simultaneously. Right? So let us see the pipeline organization with one example. Right? આજે બધું મેં કીધું એ જ છે. So each segment performs the partial processing dictated by the way the task is partitioned. The result is obtained from the computation in each segment and transferred to the next segment in the pipeline, and the register provide isolation between the each segment. And this technique is efficient for those applications that need to repeat the same task many times with different sets of data. Right? So pipeline ક્યારે efficient work થશે? એવી કઈ એપ્લિકેશન માટે pipeline is efficiently work? Whenever we want to perform the same task many times but with the use of different data, right. So at that time we use the pipeline concept, right. So let us see the pipeline example, right. Consider that we want to perform the combined multiply and addition operation, right, with the stream of numbers, right. So here we want to perform the multiplication, right, and addition operation combinedly, right, with the stream of numbers, right. So I is equals to 1, 2, 3 up to 7 is a stream of number, right. Now each sub operation is to be implemented in segment within a pipeline, right. As they be operations, sub operations is multiplication then addition, right. So this sub operations is to be implemented in segment. So there is one segment for multiplication and one segment for addition, right. So its sub operation is to be implemented in a segment within the pipeline, and each segment has one or two registers and a combinational circuit, right. So let us see this pipeline processing with the use of diagram, right. So as I said, each segment has registers and combinational circuit, right. So suppose consider R1 is a register for AI and R2 is a register for BI, right. So first segment, excuse me, sorry. Okay. So consider one segment for multiplier, right. So multiplier contains two registers R1 and R2 and one combinational circuit for multiplication. Right? right? So this is your one segment, right? Then answer of this multiply will be stored into one register R3 and value of Ci will be stored into R4, right? So here use the adder combinational circuit. So this is your second segment, right, which is used to perform the addition operation, right? So second segment consider the register R3 and R4 and combinational circuit for addition, right? And answer will be stored into R5, right? So this is one example of uh, pipelining, right? Now let us see with the use of uh, how see how pipeline we draw for this example, right? So this is the general structure of four segment pipeline, right? This is the general structure of four segment pipeline, right? So sorry, give me 1 minute. Okay, okay. So okay. Now any operations that can be decomposed into a sequence of sub operations of about the same complexity can be implemented by the pipeline processor, right? So let us see the general structure of four segment pipeline. In that the operand pass through all four segments in a fixed sequence, right? Operand pass through all four segments in a fixed sequence, right? Each segment consists of the combinational circuit S1, S2, S3, S4, right? So here S1, S2, S3, S4 are the combinational circuit. So each segment consists of the combinational circuit Si, right? That perform a sub operation over the data stream flowing through the pipe, right? અહીંયાથી જે ઇનપુટ મળે છે તમને, right? એ ઇનપુટ પર operations perform થશે with the use of this combinational circuit Si, right? The segments are separated by the register Ri. So S1 and S2 segments are separated with the R1 register, S2 and S3 segments are separated with the R2 register. So all the segments are separated with the register Ri, right? This register holds the intermediate results between the stages, right? So S1 નું જે result છે એ કોણ સ્ટોર કરશે R1 અને કોને પાસ કરશે R2 ને. R2 નું જે result છે એ કોણ સામાં સ્ટોર થશે R2 માં અને કોને પાસ થશે next segment S3, right? So registers are used to store the intermediate results between the stages, right? Information flows between the adjacent stage under the control of the common clock applied to all the registers, right? So information flow કે information કઈ ક્યારે ક્યાં કયા સેગમેન્ટમાં પાસ થશે એ શેનાથી કંટ્રોલ થશે using the common clock applied to the register simultaneously, right? So this is the general structure of four segment pipeline, right? તમને 6 segment pipeline draw કરવા કીધું હોય તો કેવી રીતે draw થશે S1 R1 S2 R2 S3 R3 S4 R4 S5 R5 S6 R6, right? અને common clock pulse બતાવવા common clock pass કરવાના into all the registers and one common input are passed through all the segments simultaneously. Getting? So this is the four segment pipeline. Right? Now to behavior of a pipeline can be illustrated. આ જે pipeline છે એનું behavior તમારે illustrate કરવું હોય, right? Represent કરવું હોય. So for that you can use the space-time diagram. Right? So space-time diagram shows the segment utilization as a function of time. Right? કે કયા સેગમેન્ટ કેટલા ટાઈમ માટે યુઝ થાય છે એ તમારે રિપ્રેઝેન્ટ કરવું હોય, રાઈટ? કે પાઇપલાઇન ને તમારે ઇલ્યુસ્ટ્રેટ કરવી હોય, then you can use the space time diagram. Right? So space time diagram shows the segment utilization as a function of time. Right? So let us demonstrate. Okay. So this is the space time diagram for non-pipelined architecture. Right? અત્યારે કોઈ pipeline નથી. મારી પાસે શું છે? 4 segments છે. Right? અને એને one by one task perform થાય છે. Right? So task T1 એ first segment માં at time T1 clock pulse પર execute થશે. The next is next clock pulse માં next segment execute થશે. Right? Then like this. Right? પછી એક આખું task પતે T1 after 4 clock pulse, then after your processor will start executing your task 2. Right? Pipeline નથી આપણી પાસે. Right? But we have multiple tasks. So after completion of one task, your processor will start executing the second task. Right? So after 4 clock pulse, your processor will start executing the second task. And after completion of second task, it will start executing the third task and 4 tasks like this. Right? So to execute the 4 tasks in 4 segments, right, you require the 16 clock pulse in non-pipeline architecture. Right? Now let us see the pipeline architecture for 4 segments. Right? So for 4 segments pipeline, right, let us draw the space-time diagram. Right? Here in space-time diagram, the horizontal axis displays the time in clock cycle. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the time in clock cycle. 1 clock cycle, 2 clock cycle, 3 clock cycle, 4 clock cycle like this. Right? And the vertical axis gives the segment number. Right? So we have to draw the space-time diagram for 4 segments. So we have total 4 rows. Right? So vertical axis represent the segment number. Right? So let us see how our 4 tasks can be represented in the pipeline architecture for 4 segments. Right? So initially task T1 is handled by the segment 1. Right? After the first clock, segment 2 is busy with the task T1. Right? But segment 1 is now free, so we can execute the task T2 into segment 1. Right? So થાય છે જો તમને pipeline માં બતાવું. Sorry. Right? Segment at time T1 અહીંયા task 1 perform થાય છે. At time T1 અહીંયા task 1 perform થાય છે in segment 1. Right? Now at second clock pulse, right, જે task 1 છે એ ટ્રાન્સફર થશે second clock pulse માં એ કયા segment માં આવી જશે in segment 2. So now segment 1 is free, so we can execute the second task here. So second task T2 will now in segment 1. Right? હવે segment 2 માં જે task 1 છે એ ટ્રાન્સફર થશે segment 3 માં. So આ segment 2 free થઈ ગયું. So અહીંયા જે ટાસ્ક T2 હતું તે ટ્રાન્સફર થશે સેગમેન્ટ 2 માં. સો નાઉ સેગમેન્ટ 1 is free, so we can execute the task T3 here, right? So એ જ આપણે રિપ્રેઝન્ટ કરવું હોય એ આપણે સ્પેસ ટાઈમ ડાયાગ્રામથી રિપ્રેઝન્ટ કરી શકીએ, right? So like this. So at time first clock cycle, segment 1 is busy with task T1, right? At second clock cycle, segment 2 is busy with task 1. So now segment 1 is free at second clock pulse, right? So we can execute the task T2, right? So now next is at third clock cycle, third segment is executing task T1, or third segment is busy with task T1, right? So task T2 is now transferred to the segment 2, and in segment 1, task T3 is performed, right? At fourth clock pulse, task segment 4 is busy with task T1, right? Task T2 is transferred to segment 3, task T3 is transferred to segment 2, so segment 1 is free, so we task segment 1 is now busy with T4, right? So first task T1 is completed after the fourth clock cycle. From then on, the pipe completes a task every clock cycle, right? No matter how segments there are in the system, once the pipeline is full, it takes only one clock period to obtain an output, right? આનો મતલબ શું થાય? આ સ્ટેટમેન્ટનો મતલબ કે once, right, your pipeline is full, pipeline તમારી full થઈ ગઈ T1, અહીંયા જો આ પાઇપલાઇનમાં T1, T2, T3, T4, so આ ચારે ચાર સેગમેન્ટમાં તમારા ટાસ્ક આવી ગયા. So once your pipeline is full, it takes only one clock period to obtain an output, right? Task T1 ને complete કરતા કેટલા clock period લાગ્યા? 4, right? So after 4 clock pulse, તમારી pipeline full થઈ ગઈ, pipeline ના દરેક સેગમેન્ટમાં ટાસ્ક આવી ગયા, right? So after this, your pipeline takes only one clock period to obtain an output, right? So અહીંયા જો એક ટાસ્ક ને કમ્પ્લીટ થવા, T1 ને કમ્પ્લીટ થવા 4 clock pulse થયા, T2 ને કમ્પ્લીટ થવા 4, 4, 4, right? So your segment 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 without pipeline architecture, right, are used for 4 times to complete the task, right? But whenever you use the pipeline architecture, right, so after completing, after once your pipeline is full, right, so pipeline full thata કેટલા clock pulse થયા? 4, right? At fourth clock pulse your pipeline is full, right? So after this, right, it takes only one clock pulse or clock period to obtain an output, right? So total clock time required to complete this process is 7 instead of 16, right? So total time required, with the use of space-time diagram, you can find out the total time required to complete this task, right? So without pipeline architecture, you require 16 clock pulse, but when you use the pipeline architecture, you require only 7 clock pulse to complete the task T1, T2, T3 and T4. Right? So this is the advantage of pipeline architecture over the non-pipeline architecture. Right? So let us consider K segment pipeline. Right? मैं तमने 4 segment ની pipeline बताવી. તમને એક્ઝામમાં કોઈ ગમે એટલા સેગમેન્ટ ની પાઇપલાઇન પૂછાઈ શકે, 6 સેગમેન્ટ, 8 સેગમેન્ટ, और તમને એવું કહી દીધું K સેગમેન્ટ, રાઈટ? સો હવે તમારે ડ્રો થશે, તમારે ડ્રો શું કરવાનું? આ પાઇપલાઇન ડ્રો કરવાની, રાઈટ? Draw this pipeline. if it will ask for 6 segments. So S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, રાઈટ. અને એના માટે સ્પેસ ટાઈમ ડાયાગ્રામ, તો સેગમેન્ટ તમારા 6 છે તો અહીંયા 4 રો ની જગ્યાએ કેટલી રો આવી જશે? 6 રોઝ, રાઈટ. અને ક્લોક પલ્સ તો જેમ તમે ટાસ્ક ને કમ્પ્લીટ કરતા જશો તેમ ક્લોક સાયકલ કેટલી જોઈશે તો હોરિઝોન્ટલ લાઈન એ રીતે લઈ લેવાનું, હોરિઝોન્ટલ, રાઈટ. સો this is about 4 segment. તમને એક્ઝામમાં 6 segment 7 segment ગમે એ પૂછાઈ શકે, right? So let us consider the K segment pipeline generally, right? With a clock cycle time TP is used to execute n task, right? So total number of segments are K, total number of tasks are n, right? And clock cycle time is represented with the use of TP, right? Now the first task T1 requires a time equal to KTP, right? First જે task છે T1 એને કેટલો time જોઈએ છે to complete its operation? KTP. KTP means total number of segments into clock cycle time to execute n task, right? Now the remaining n minus 1 task emerge from the pipe at the rate of 1 task per clock cycle, and that will be complete after a time equal to n minus 1 into TP, right? So therefore to complete n tasks using K segment pipeline requires K plus n minus 1 clock cycles, right? So let us see the different units which is used in pipelining structure, right? So to speed up of a pipeline processing over an equivalent non-pipeline processing is defined by the ratio S is equals to NTN divided by K plus n minus 1 TT, where n is a total number of tasks, Tn is a time total time required for n task, right? K is a number of segments, right? And TP is a time TP is a time in segment or TP is a clock cycle to use the executing the n task in pipeline structure, right? So this is the ratio over pipeline processing over the equivalent non-pipeline processing, right? So that will define with the use of S, right? Now as the number of tasks increases, n become much larger than K minus 1, and K plus n minus 1 approaches the value of n. Under this condition, speed up becomes S is equals to NTN divided by NTP. So NN is cancelled, so is equals to PN upon TP. Right? So assuming time to process a task in pipeline and non-pipeline circuit is same, then S is equals to KTP divided by TP. So TP is cancel is equals to K. So theoretically, maximum speed up achieved is the number of segments in the pipeline, right? So to clarify the meaning of the speed up ratio, right, we can consider one example, right? કે તમારી પાસે એક સેગમેન્ટમાં सब ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करवा माटे टाइम કેટલો છે TP is equals to 20 nanosecond, right? અને પાઇપલાઇન માં સેગમેન્ટ્સ કેટલા છે? કન્સિડર 4 અને ટોટલ ટાસ્ક કેટલા છે? સપોઝ 100, right? So pipeline system will take k plus n minus 1 into TP is equals to 2060 nanosecond, right? અને નોન પાઇપલાઇન સિસ્ટમ ને એની જગ્યાએ કેટલો ટાઈમ જોઈશે n KTP, so that is 8000 nanosecond to complete the 100 task, right? હવે સ્પીડ અપ રેશિયો કેવી રીતે ફાઇન્ડ થશે? આ NTN ની વેલ્યુ જે આવી that is 8000 અને આની જે વેલ્યુ આવી that is 2060, right? એ બંનેનો તમે રેશિયો લેશો, so that is your સ્પીડ અપ રેશિયો, right? અને જેમ તમારા નંબર ઓફ ટાસ્ક ઇન્ક્રીઝ થશે, right, your speed up ratio will approach the 4, which is equals to number of segments in the pipeline, right? So this is about the general scenario of what is pipeline, how to draw a pipeline, or general consideration to draw a pipeline, right? We see the 4 segment pipeline, right? Then we see the how to draw the space-time diagram for 4 segment pipeline, right? Space-time diagram is used to store the segment utilization as a function of time, right? In space-time diagram, horizontal axis are used to represent the time in clock cycle, right? And vertical axis are gives you segment number, right? And total number of clock cycle required to complete the task is equals to once your pipeline is full, right? Then on once your pipeline is full, and it takes only one clock period to obtain an output, right? So અહીંયા pipeline તમારી full થઈ જાય ત્યાં સુધી કેટલી clock pulse use થશે? 4. પછી task પૂરું કરવા માટે કેટલી clock pulse use થશે? Only 1 1 1. So total is 7 clock cycle is used to complete the task. Getting? હવે તો એક્ઝામમાં તમને આ 4 સેગમેન્ટ મેં બતાવ્યું છે. એક્ઝામમાં 6 સેગમેન્ટ 8 સેગમેન્ટ ગમે એટલી પૂછાય. નોર્મલી 4 સેગમેન્ટ 6 સેગમેન્ટ અને 7 સેગમેન્ટની પૂછાય, right? So in next lecture we will see the arithmetic pipeline, right? Getting all of you?
Yes, ma'am.